CID is sending out a strong word of caution to all involved in this, including Nana Appiah Mensah. You can run, but you cannot hide. They say they are 100% certain they will have him arrested. Either he turns himself in tonight or he's bundled by Interpol agents and brought into Ghana. We're following this from multiple angles for you tonight, and we'll be delving into the exclusive angles in a short while. Also tonight,
latest research from the University of Ghana indicates that if elections were held today, NDC will push the NPP to a second round.
If elections were held today, which candidate will you vote for? So for Nana-Addo, 49.6% of respondents said they would vote for him, 33.3% for John Mahama, and 7.3% for Kwesi Ndu.
We have details for that latest research. Also, Ghana Integrity Initiative commends government for terminating Waste Bins contract with Jospon worth 362 million Ghana cedis. We'll tell you why the state has not lost any money in the cancellation of this contract.
And in business, investment analyst Mahama Idrisu describes latest action on Men's Code and its directors as coming too late.
And in sports, a former GFA executive committee member wants Premier and Division 1 League clubs to embrace the special competition by the normalization committee set to kick off this month.
Okay, and of course, as we get all over this international effort to arrest NAM1, the state agencies are asking for your help. If you listen to us in Ghana or wherever you are in 194 countries tonight, they say call the nearest police office, police station. Send us a WhatsApp, 0244340437. Want to hear from you. My name is Evan Spencer.
I am MF Apao.
We have details after the break.
Success of fashion. Trusted, innovative financial services, providing inflation support and solutions. Customer-oriented, superior services. Your success of fashion. 10 good years of loyalty, service with integrity, protective of our Ghanaian brand. 10 years of excellence, 10 years of loyalty. Your success our passion, oh yeah. Your success our passion.
Your success our passion.
Hello, I say, I was now. Vodafone normal 10 megabyte free data. It will call Smart Rubiadron. Share.
Hello, have you heard that Vodafone is giving 10 megabyte free data for every minute you talk? You just dial 50-50.
Yeah, hello? Aha! Right now, we the Vodafone people just they call plenty. Sake of us you talk 1 minute, you go get 10 megabytes. You talk 2 minutes, you go get 20 megabytes. 3 minutes.
Call Vodafone or any network and get 10 megabytes of free data every minute you talk. It's simple. Talk to browse. The more you talk, the more data you get. Dial 50-50 to subscribe. Talk more, browse more. Terms and conditions apply.
The future is exciting. Ready?
Nationwide Medical Insurance, the leader in private health insurance, has deployed superior technology to make your healthcare experience more convenient and exciting. With the Nationwide mobile app, you can order your prescription drugs and we will deliver to your doorsteps. With over 600 dependable healthcare service providers, you're just a step away locating your service provider of choice and accessing hospital claim information in real time. Our corporate clients are guaranteed timely corporate utilization reports. We provide on-site clinics to give employees access to healthcare in the comfort of their offices. Enjoy these amazing benefits and so much more by signing on to Nationwide Medical Insurance today. Call us on toll-free number 0800-222222 or visit our website www.nationwidemh.com. Nationwide Medical Insurance. Join the healthcare family.
And you're live on Joy 99.7 FM. This is News Night. We are continuing with our breaking news story tonight about the international effort to, the manhands really, for the fugitive Nana Appiah Mensah, who is on the run from justice tonight. And there's an international effort in 194 countries to have him apprehended. He's not the only one caught up in this. There are two other individuals. We understand one is the wife, Rostete. The second is sister, Benedicta Appiah. MFI is here with me, as is Kojo and Nancy. We'll be going on the phone lines to speak to some of our reporters who are also chasing this for us on the ground. MFI, let me start with you. You spoke to the CID boss, Mame Tewa Adodankwa, and she gave us some intriguing insight into this operation to have him arrested. What did you learn from that conversation?
Okay, so from that conversation, she tells me that 194 countries, these are the countries that they've triggered the Interpol to be able to look for Nam1. So it looks like he can run, but he can hide. Wherever he is, we are told that 194 countries, they are looking for him there. They are also unsure how he left the country because they are checked so far at the airport and they are still checking. It shows that he did not use the airport, so they don't know how he got out of the country. And why now? Because money laundering issues have come up, also because of this warrant, and then defrauding issues have also come up. So that's why now they are looking for him.
But that is interesting because on the warrant, the charges defrauding by fraud operators. By CID has a separate leg of this, which is money laundering.
Money laundering as well. Some of the probable charges that they will be preferring against.
Once he's in custody.
He's in custody. And so that's where we are in terms of these issues.
She also says, and this was a controversial bit when Gabby made his post about the fact that he sort of jammed bail, so to speak. She says CID did not arrest her.
CID did not arrest
but our
him.
Independent checks seem to suggest that BNI did.
Yes,
and
that's what
that's
we
how
know.
come.
So this is the first time that the CID is actually looking for Nam1. So the previous arrest, that's why it's a warrant and not a bench warrant, because the previous arrest was by the BNI and not the CID. So this is the first time that the CID is actually looking for him to arrest him and proffer those charges against him. So that's what we know so far in terms of speaking to the CID boss, Mame Tewa Adodankwa.
Kojo, what do we know?
Well, we thought we'd have a quick look at what activity he has left behind on social media. He was always a very large presence on social media, so we thought we'd see whether that would give us any clues as to what he's up to or where he is. We first had a look on Twitter, where his last post was dated the 27th of November 2018 at 10:42 p.m. This is what he posted. He said, "Instead of us being resolute, you've fallen for the misconceptions and further denigration of my name and the brand. We shall do the needful now. God knows we defended our collective cause. Hashtag posterity. Hashtag hail Men's Gold Global." Now, he sent this from his iPhone on the night of the 27th of November. We also tracked down his last post on Instagram. It appears that Twitter and Instagram are the two platforms on which he is the most active. Now, on Instagram, his last post was dated the 28th, so the day after that tweet. 28th of November 2018. This is what he had to say. "Somewhere in Africa, a purported fraudulent business has been paying income and corporate taxes for government, salaries and SNIT for staff, 5% and now 3% royalties on over $100 million gold bars exports for the Minerals Commission, discharged contractual obligations fully to the thousands of clients, and have embarked on various corporate social responsibilities for 5 years successfully with no objection. Hashtag seek the facts. At the end, what I would live with would be the shock at the silence of my friends and associates and not the temporary slay of my foes. Hashtag values added. Hashtag
he was speaking in parables at
lessons.
some point.
I guess he was. But, of course, we've been trying to piece together what we can about who he is.
Yes.
We picked up a couple of, biodata details, if you wish. So he was born on the 16th of May, 84. He's 34
Oh, so
years
this
old.
is 30...
34. He's 34 years old.
That's a young gentleman.
Very young, by the standards of his achievements,
Yeah,
I
mean,
guess.
he's younger than myself. And I think I am. I'm young.
Yes. Okay, now his parents are Susie Ivy Brew, that's his mother, Napoleon Mensah Abrompa, is his father. His sister is the lady who was named in that warrant.
Okay, so that's Benedicta Apia.
Right. Now, he has a sister-in-law, Sima Brew, who is a well-known fashion designer.
There's a video circulating that we've seen. Is that the sister-in-law? The
that
sister?
was
in which,
Sima Brew's wedding. I believe,
in which you see Nana Apia Mensah on the balcony throwing cash,
that's correct.
into the crowd, so
That's
to speak.
correct.
People were scrambling over this money.
Yes, the very well-dressed wedding
And let me just
guests
note
were
this:
scrambling.
the customers in the studio with us are shaking their heads when I said you see him on the balcony throwing cash, and you're thinking, "Oh my God, this is my money." We'll hear from them shortly.
I will shake my head too. His wife is Mrs. Rose Apia Mensah, formerly known as Rose Tete, and he has one child, P. Mensah. He spent the better part of his early life with his mother in Kaswa. We know he went to Adesado College. We don't know where he went before
Is that. Did you go to Adesado too?
I went to St. Augustine's College. Yes.
Just checking.
Yes, and it's good that you've given me the opportunity
to clarify.
Yes, on behalf of all APSUs. All right, now he recently toured the campus of Vadisco for one of his projects, the NAM1 Mission Project. All right, now he went to University of Ghana. He studied for his first degree a number of things, including economics and business management, finance, mining, and environmental studies.
I see.
So yes, some educational background there for you. He has been awarded several times.
Yeah.
He was adjudged the Business Executive of the Year 2017.
Wow.
The just ended Ghana
By
Entrepreneur and Corporate Executive
I see.
Awards.
Wow.
But before that, the year before, he won Man of the Year at the Emmy Awards.
Wow.
Yes. He now, by the way, this award for Business Executive of the Year was boldly displayed on the University of Ghana website under the headline University of Ghana alumnus received awards. Yes, and of course, Nana Apia Mensah owns several businesses. We know of Men's Gold Ghana Limited, the one which has become the center of controversy. Brew Marketing Consult Company Limited is his, as well as Men's Gold Espana SL in Spain. Now, interestingly, Men's Gold Espana SL in Spain was established on the 2nd of September 2017, and their activities on record include construction, installations and maintenance, wholesale and retail trade intermediaries of the trade of diverse products, and then real estate activities and many others. He also owns Xylophone Media Company.
Yeah, they're very
Limited.
famous, and they signed a lot of stars.
Yes,
music
they did.
stars and
they have several
stars.
brands under their umbrella, including Xylophone FM, Xylophone Music, Xylophone Movies, Xylophone TV, Xylophone Marketing, and Xylophone Copyright Advice.
I've seen Xylophone Cash, right?
Yes, that is another company he owns. And Xylophone Cash sponsors the Ghana football, or signed a deal in 2018, May, to sponsor the Premier League for $10 million for a period of 5 years. That was a deal signed between Kwesi Nyantakyi and Nana Apia Mensah. He, in fact, he also runs a website.
Just to note, because you mentioned Xylophone Media, some of the artists have signed on, popular one, Shatawale, Stonebwoy, etc. So these are very famous acts, and there are rumors that some of these acts are beginning to distance themselves from the business.
Well, that may be the case, but not before a lot of the posts that they put out have started to make the rounds once again. So, for example, on the 11th of August last year, Shatawale put out a post which has suddenly started making the rounds again.
Again?
Yes, in fact, it's been retweeted 943 times. And it says, "So, Mr. President, are you saying Ken Ofori-Atta has votes more than your own son, Shatawale? How can they bring down a structure that is in favor of the youth of Ghana, all in the name of politics? If Xylophone or Men's Gold goes down, it means you don't care about we, the youth of Ghana."
Yeah.
That's Shatawale. Sarkodie put up a post in his support as well, even though Sarkodie does not belong to the Xylophone.
There were rumors that there was an attempt to sort of sign him and others as well.
Right. Forgive me, that earlier tweet that I mentioned, it did say 11th of August, didn't it? 2018. But there's one from Sarkodie, which was in September. And it says, "One man doing the most for our beloved country. Knowing him personally, he genuinely cares about the country's progress and might not know the ins and outs, but one thing is for sure, the NAM1 mission is for a better Ghana. Bless Nana Apia."
I see. So this is who we know he is, as far as his footprint is concerned and his background. But Nancy, You've been to some of his properties tonight because we know that it's also a subject of interest, at least for the Financial Intelligence Center, who have already frozen, we understand, his accounts tonight. What did you establish?
All right, so if you go through East Legon, there are lots of properties under in the name Xylophone. So at airport, first you see the Xylophone cash office. Then when you get to the East Legon proper, there is the Xylophone Media, which is the headquarters, which has the FM, the movie house, and also the TV. Then you go towards the East Legon police station. That entire stretch looks like a xylophone,
This is a xylophone estate,
exactly. So you see xylophone music, you see xylophone films, and then he has bought the Royal Rochester Hotel.
I see.
Which is around that same area. And just very close to it, we understand he's putting up another underground building. He's been able to raise that. We don't know how many stories that is. But a lot of the properties we found that we understand is under Nana Appiah Mensah have not been named yet because they are still under construction. And in fact, today we were, there was one property that still had some contractors working on those particular buildings. But for now, we know that there are about 10 entities under the Xylophone brand. And so that is exactly. So that's the Xylophone Media, Xylophone Music, Marketing, Cash, Events, Art Fund, Art Club, the movies. And then we also know about his football club, the Star Madrid, which is also located at East Legon.
But these businesses you visited, some of them, are they operating? Do you see people going in and out of these buildings, people working there?
All right. So if you enter the Men's Gold offices, especially the one at East Legon, it is closed. In fact, the security checkpoint is also closed. So there's nobody.
I noticed that this morning.
There's nobody there. But when you go to the Xylophone offices, people are going in and coming out.
There's
doing
some
their
activity.
usual business. Exactly.
Okay. Nancy, thank you very much. Let's. You remember that one of the other two people that have been declared wanted tonight is we understand the wife of Nana Appiah Mensah, Rose Tete, correct? And understand that her business is operating as usual tonight. She's also not the agencies do not know quite where she is at this moment, whether she's with her husband or not with her husband. But let's go on to the phone lines because we have a reporter at this building, at this facility. We understand owned by the wife. It's a business in somewhere in East Legon. Hello, Parker.
Hello, Ivan.
Parker, where are you?
I'm at Shashi at the moment, Evans, and right in front of Rose's collection. Now, Rose's collection, we've been told that is for the wife of Nana Appiah Mensah. And as I speak to you, Evans, the shop is operating. In fact, they are selling wedding gowns, wedding accessories. So you talk about bags, you talk about shoes, you talk about wigs, and all of that here. We have two shop attendants here, and they've been telling me that the whole day they've been operating. In fact, just before I got here, I saw a customer walking out of the shop, and I asked what she was there to do. She told me that she was there to check the wedding gown because she has a wedding in just about 2 weeks and getting ready for her wedding. So she just came around to check the wedding gown. So, Evans, this is what we know. And I inquired from the shop attendant whether they've been receiving their monthly salaries at the end of the month. And indeed, they told me that yes, since the issue happened, their boss has never defaulted. Every month they get their monthly salaries. And wanted to find out from them the last time they saw their madam here at the shop. Now they tell me it was just about 1.5 months ago, less than 2 months. That was the time she visited the shop. But again, they indicated that she doesn't visit the shop regularly because her brother manages the shop. So once in a while, she decides to pass by to check what is happening. So they're not really too surprised why she hasn't been to the office throughout the whole Christmas or during December and all of that. So this is the information we are having, that indeed the shop is operating and everything is cool, no threat. I asked them whether some people have come around to threaten them and all of that. Well, they tell me the answer is no. They're just calm. They're doing their job. They are serving customers. So everything here is quite cool.
Okay, and business as usual in this shop owned by the wife, Rose Tete. Business as usual, Parker. Okay, that's Parker. They're reporting from what is it called? Rosie Collections, is it? Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's it.
That's the business owned by Rose Tete, and the reason why she's a person of interest, not only for us but for the state agencies, but now a global search manhunt, is because of the She's been charged, by the way, because if you look at the arrest warrant, the charge there is defrauding by false pretense. She, together with the sister of Nana Appiah Mensah, Benedicta Appiah, have all now been declared wanted and fugitive from the law. What we don't know specifically, MFA, is what specifically. We know that they've been charged with defrauding by false pretense, but to what extent are they involved with the issues that we know have been related to Men's Gold? Because you confirm with CID that another leg of this is money laundering accusations against Nana Appiah Mensah, owner of Men's Gold. But we don't know how deeply involved.
But she also says that 2 other directors, the warrant is for 2 other directors of Men's Gold as well. But she, however, did not say whether it's Benedicta Appiah or Rose Tete, who are the 2 directors that are this bench, the warrant is actually for as well.
It's very possible that they may be directors of Men's Gold as well. We don't know that for sure. But as we know, and as we just confirmed, Parker just did that, the business of Rose Tete is running as usual, and we know that there are efforts tonight not only to freeze the bank accounts but possibly the assets as well, and that could be one asset that could be frozen if indeed they establish that it may have been built using Men's Gold funds that is determined to be illegal. I have with me in the studio customers of Men's Gold. They've been listening to this and following this all day. We heard from Amanda Clinton, who represents one of the customers. I have with me in the studio Evans Awude, and also with me in the studio it's Mahmoud. Tell me, gentlemen, your reaction to all this.
Thank you very much, Evans. I want to say thank you to multimedia in general. The kind of work that they've done for us, we the customers, we really appreciate it. 2, the reaction is like good and bad kind of stuff, because
what is the good?
The good thing is now government has come in, or the presidency has come in, because all that we were asking for is for the government to come in. Since Interpol, the arrest warrant has been issued out, we know definitely where he is. Definitely they are going to get him. But
you know where he is?
Well, they know.
Okay, yeah. I get what you're saying. I thought you said you know where.
No.
Okay.
Because me sitting here as an ordinary
you don't know.
Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, our sources tell us that although he's been the arrest warrant for him and the sister and wife is being activated in 194 countries. The focus tonight is mainly on Nigeria and South Africa, possibly because they believe he may have flown to South Africa and ended up in Nigeria, and so they're looking for him in these 2 countries particularly. But Mama, tell me, you've heard this. How much of your money is locked in Men's Gold?
Well, I've got 42,000 in there.
42,000.
Yes.
How much is yours, Evans?
100,000.
100,000. That's a lot of money.
It's a welcoming news.
So the 2 of you combine 140,000. Welcoming news for you, Mohammed.
It's welcoming news, but it's long overdue. All along, we've been pushing the government come in, because the government should fight for its people. We give government power so that it fights on our behalf in times of needs. So all along, this is what we've been pushing for. And the government has always told us that they owe us no responsibility. And that's too, and that was too bad.
But Mohammed, you recall that the government constantly issued statements. We heard from the BOG, we heard from SEC, we heard from PMMC, all issuing warnings about your dealings with Men's Gold. Now you're asking government to come in?
Yeah, you see, the warning
you
issue...
ignored all those warnings.
The warning issue they keep telling us is even laughable.
Is it?
Are state institutions paid to sit in their air-conditioned offices and issue warnings? They're supposed to act. I listened to the chairman of the Finance Committee of Parliament, Mark Esibe Yabua. He says that as far back as February 2017, that was just barely 2 months when MPP assumed power. The Bank of Ghana invited, the Finance Committee invited Bank of Ghana, Men's Gold, and some other institutions, and they made it clear to Men's Gold that they were operating illegally. So if at that time, as far back as February 2017, you realized that the company was operating illegally and you allowed it to continue...
But were you not worried when you heard stuff like this, for you to invest 100,000 and 40,000 into an institution that alerts have been raised about?
You see, this is even the problem. The company got an indirect endorsement from all those who matter in this country. For instance, he had access to the presidency. In my belief,
because you saw a picture.
You saw a picture.
Okay, I'm coming. Let me make a point. If in a serious country, before someone gets access to the presidency, a lot of background checks would have been done to the person to ensure that he doesn't have any form of blemish. Before he gets
you don't know if the person was invited by the president. You only saw a picture for you to say
that isn't entirely accurate. I mean, is the president. You can visit the president if you're leading a mission. They don't do a security check on you before in terms of whether you're doing. If it comes up later on, of course you'll be arrested, which is what has happened tonight. That shouldn't be the reason why you would invest in a man because the man has a picture with the president. Well, you're not saying that's what.
That may not be the only reason, but there are several reasons that.
Yeah.
What are the other reasons?
How much money did you make from the 40,000 you invested?
Well, I have not benefited from.
Why?
Well, as soon as I invested, the company was closed down.
100,000. You must have made some money of this.
Yeah, 3 months.
But how long ago?
3 months. So you got what?
30,000.
You got 30,000. So yeah, I mean, people say to you that's a risk. That is the risk. That's the risk.
That is the word that I don't want to hear.
Why?
Listen,
Evans, yes.
Look, this is a business that they've given them a license to operate. They said
the Bank of Ghana said he's not been licensed. The SEC says they've not been licensed.
Minerals Commission gave them a license to export gold,
not deal in
deposits.
Collectibles.
Yeah, but
and they warned you that this is the case.
Cash to men's gold.
Yes.
You go to Brew Consort, you go and buy the gold from.
So you bought gold?
Yes.
Did you get gold? Where's the gold?
It's in a form of some small package.
So they give you the gold.
They will give it to you.
So you took it home.
No. You take it back to.
So you give them money. How much?
Yes.
100,000. And they gave you gold.
Yes.
Why do you give them back to them?
No, I can't do anything with yours. They said you should go here, go and buy the gold.
So you bought the gold.
And they keep it for you.
I'm asking you. So they gave. Hold on. When you bought the gold, did they give you physical bar of gold?
Yes, they gave me
a symbol, something, a token.
Thank you very much. So they gave you
gold.
You're buying gold, right?
Yeah.
And the guy gives you a symbol.
Yeah.
And you took it, and you returned it.
Yeah.
For what?
No, I just returned it to them.
For what?
They said go here specifically. Go to Brew Consort. That is where you get gold.
Yes. And then you were buying gold.
Yes.
But they didn't give you gold.
I went the purpose.
No problem.
Gold,
but they didn't give you gold.
I don't know because I'm not.
But you are holding 100,000. You want to buy gold.
Yes.
And you say you don't know what you bought.
No. I don't know that. That is no gold. But
you have 100,000 CDs and you don't know what you bought.
I went purposely to buy gold.
Yes.
I said no. I need gold.
Yes.
Or go to this place. Go and buy gold.
Yes.
That is where you go and when you bring it to us, we will accept.
So you paid the money.
I paid the money.
Did they give you gold?
They
No.
gave it to me.
They gave you gold.
They gave me gold.
They didn't give you gold.
They gave me gold.
But you said
they didn't give you. They said I gave you a token, some symbol.
They gave me, they said it's gold.
And you believed it was gold.
So I also believe that it's gold.
But I said it's a token. They told you it's a token. You told me it's a token.
Oh, listen.
That's
I should have it.
So you have it in your pocket.
No.
But if you have it in your pocket, what's your problem? Go and sell it.
I have a picture of what
they give you. Okay.
Yes. So you take that particular thing to the office of men's gold.
Okay.
Then they will process everything for you. Then that is assuming that it's the gold that you went and bought.
Okay.
Then they will go and trade it for you, and at the end of the month, you are going to get.
You're getting 10,000 CD every month
exactly.
for 3 months.
Exactly.
And you were happy.
Why not? Because I've invested.
Yeah, no, that's a problem. So you took the risk and you make 30,000. So why do you? It's a risk. The higher the risk, the possibility that you lose your cash. Did you know that?
No.
You didn't know that?
You didn't hear that they said the dividends were outrageous? You never heard that they said the dividends were outrageous? Nowhere in the world would you get such dividends.
Did you see any of the warnings of the Bank of Ghana? You didn't see any? You didn't hear it on radio?
No.
You didn't hear it on radio?
No.
Not once?
No.
How long have you been with Men's Gold?
About 4 or 5 months.
4 or 5 months.
Yeah,
and you never heard about the back and forth with Security and Exchange Commission?
After I've invested and I've received the dividends about 3 months before this issue started coming.
So when you heard the issue, what did you do about the money that was there?
there's no way. I went there thinking at least I can withdraw my money. But no.
They said you can't withdraw your money.
Why?
I can't withdraw my money.
Why? What reasons
Because
did they give you?
on the normal transaction, when you want to terminate your contract, they are going to, deduct 25% from your principal. So, and moreover, they will give you
25% will be 25,000.
Exactly.
But you've made 30,000. So
And you
if
weren't
they give me 75,000.
Why didn't you take it?
I was ready,
Uh-huh.
but we have to give them 7 days also as well.
Okay.
So after the 7 days, then you go, then they will give you back your money. You understand? So when that thing happened, and I went in, I wanted to invoke my contract.
They delayed you. You didn't get the money.
I didn't get it.
Hold on. Let me bring in the ranking member on the finance committee, Ato Forsing. Hello, Mr. Forsing.
Okay.
Hello, Mr. Forsing.
Evans.
Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you. Happy New Year to you too, sir. And I know the finance committee, you've sat on this matter, you've looked into it, and your position as a minority is that government cannot say we won't touch it, won't do anything about this. We're hearing tonight that there have been developments tonight. Interpol has been triggered. There's an arrest warrant from NAM1. Happy with the reaction that we're getting from government tonight?
Thank you, Evans. The first question I ask myself is to find out why now? Why the laxity, unfortunately? This company, more or less, their license was revoked about 4 months ago. 4 clear months ago. Now, you have given this company 4 clear months to hide possible people's deposit. You have given them 4 clear months the possibility of selling assets and find a nice way to repatriate it to where it should be in safe haven. 4 clear months to someone you recall criminal. 4 clear months to somebody you claim is operating illegally. I would have thought that if the government was very believe in themselves that indeed the guy was operating illegally, on the very day that they revoked the license or asked the company to stop operation, they should have moved in on the same day. Request for his arrest and also ensure that all assets belonging to Men's Gold and its associates are frozen at that point. Unfortunately, the government has given them 4 clear months to hide these assets. I believe it is late in coming. Too late in coming. Government may be able to recover part of the asset, but unfortunately, I beg to say that a number or a good chunk of the asset may be hidden by now. 4 clear months is a bit too much. I hope that they are not only asking for the arrest of the accomplice, the person in charge and his family, immediate family, but as at now, I expect them to ask the central bank and all international agencies to freeze the assets of all such people and not to allow them to get access to any of those assets. Because obviously the bottom line is to recover the assets and then share pro rata basis to those who may have fallen victim of this act. That is the bottom line. If indeed the state is not going to come in. But that is another point. For me, what is important is for us to recover the assets, because obviously the state has a responsibility to ensure that those assets are recovered and paid back in a way to the victim. That is most important thing. But unfortunately, I strongly believe that it's too late.
And on that point, we know that the Financial Intelligence Center has moved into freeze bank accounts, and I know there are efforts tonight to also free some of the assets that can be confirmed to be in his name. I have with me on the line. I have with me on the line. Just a second. I have with me on the line your colleague from the majority side on the committee, Anthony Afa. Mr. Afa, thank you for your time here on Newsnight. You've done some work on this for the finance committee. We just heard from your minority colleagues. They believe this is coming too late. Your reaction?
Well, thank you, Evans, and good evening to our church listeners, and especially to Honorable. This matter of NAM1 and Men's Gold, which metaphors from Men's Bank with the K to a C and then to gold, this has lived with us for several years. Men's Gold operations have been, the public had been informed about the operations of Men's Gold to say that they are operating illegally. Now, whose responsibility is it to stay away from dealing with an unlicensed company? Is it the government or the investors? I should think that the investors should take a cue from the central bank. When the central bank published, at least I read about 2 or 3 notices telling the investing public that this company is not licensed. It is not for government to put padlocks there to prevent people from going. You have to use your own conscience and determination to say that if the Bank of Ghana has alerted the public, the investing public, about the operations of this company, then I should stay away as an investor. Is that the only place to make an investment? So it's spun out over time, and I heard my Honorable Atuforsen saying that 4 months has been too long. There's always a time to start. Let us see whether we can have a complete operation where we can grab him, and then the courts will determine whether he's criminal or not. I'm not sure Atu and I can say he's a criminal until the security people have done their job. What is important now is that he may have assets in Ghana and abroad. There's something called tracing. I'm sure the lawyers would know how to define it better. And wherever he has a single asset, the government or the courts will pursue that. That is not within the remit of the Bank of Ghana or the Securities and Exchange Commission.
But Ms. Effa, we've spoken tonight in covering this breaking news story to Amanda Clinton, who represents one of the lawyers. We've done a lot of work on this, including speaking to Financial Intelligence Center, etc. And she says quite categorically that in terms of these accounts that are being frozen tonight, there's nothing in them. The man has been moving money from these accounts when he smells that something was up. And the state agencies, CID, BNI, have just come to the party too late.
Yeah. When we see assets, it's not only cash for the banks. I'm sure.
But also we know that some of these assets are being divested. In fact, in Kumasi, it was a court order recently, a couple of weeks back, for some of his assets there to be liquidated and the money is used to pay a customer. When the bank agents went to, when the court agents went to carry out the court order, they found that one of the properties that they thought was his was not in his name, and so it became a problem in Kumasi.
Yeah, that's why I made reference to tracing. I mean, the lawyers know what it is to trace assets. It may be in your wife's name, it may be in your related party's name, but they can trace to find the owner. Now, properties, I'm not sure that number one has exhausted all his assets. If he has, what the questions that will be asked is, if he disposed of a property to pay clients, and indeed actually paid clients, what was the value of the property? Was it sold voluntarily, or was he compelled to sell? Where we would say there was a valuation, okay, and so on. I would think that it's never too late to start an action. Now that Interpol has stepped in, or the police has started to look for him, the courts, once he is sued, or a suit has been issued, wherever he has assets, it could be in Zimbabwe, it could be in Ghana, it could be nearby Cote d'Ivoire, wherever, it could be in Burkina, wherever it is. I'm sure it's only a matter of time, but all these assets will have to be found and then proper valuations done and then sold out. I don't believe that because he's left the country, everybody's going to lose his money. I believe that the first steps have been taken. 4 months, somebody would say it's rather too late, but at least a step has been taken. And I think that what is important for us is to ensure that it is done thoroughly, comprehensively, so that we don't do any short work and then after 2 months or 3 months we say we can't find anything and it's all over. The court should assist us
to trace the other assets. I'm grateful that you joined us, Anthony. A final word to you, Mr. Fossey. You insist that this is coming a bit too late because he can divest his properties, he can empty his accounts, as we're hearing from some of the customers who've been probing into this. Is there anything else that your committee because I know you were petitioned, is going to be doing on this, or you're going to leave it for the state agencies now that they've taken over?
Evans, it is not up to me to make a determination, but obviously for the entire committee to meet and then take a vote on the matter. But I strongly feel that Parliament has a role to play in this matter. In fact, I've insisted over a month ago that the state should get involved and at least, at the minimum, bring the guy to justice and to make sure the assets are actually located, recovered, and then shared it among the people who are victims on a pro rata basis. That has always been our position. We made this pronouncement about a month ago. The government came out, some of their ministers in Parliament and some of their MPs said government had no role. They rubbished our suggestion. Obviously, today they are going back to very suggestion that we made about a month ago. Within 30 days, one calendar month, this individual can do a lot of things. He can indeed divest some of the assets. He can move some of the assets in a way that you cannot trace.
But the CID boss has an answer. Concern. The CID boss has an answer for the concern it just raised. She says that whilst you were making the call for government to step in, investigations were happening. In fact, it was only when they found evidence of money laundering that they triggered these processes that has led to the Interpol action, etc., that we are talking about tonight.
Even the truth is that government was laxing. In fact, the laxity of the government is too much. Day one, the government said, yes, they have uncovered a Ponzi scheme. And for that matter, they are revoking your license. They don't want you to trade. If you believe that it is a Ponzi scheme, then there's the need for you to move in day one. Day one, the very day you made that announcement, the very day that you stopped them from trading, you should have started your investigation. You should have, that very day, freeze those assets concerned.
The point you make may be a valid one, but it's a point that will apply to you as a former deputy finance minister in 2016. What did you do about it in your time?
Evans, you see, that is the difficulty I find any time we're trying to solve a problem.
No, but you've raised the issue about time.
Let me tell you something.
I mean, you raised the issue about time, and if your point is about it's too late, you should have moved in early. You had 2016, you had 2015, you had 2014, 2013, and nothing was done in your time when you were the deputy finance minister.
It is wrong for you to suggest that nothing was done. The central bank in 2016 started the process to look into the activities of Men's Gold. In fact, one of your colleagues, one of the guys in the studio, made reference to February 2017. It was the previous governance under the NDC that appeared before the Finance Committee of Parliament that made that claims to us. And they showed us what they have done. In the process, this government actually acted based on the information that was left to them by their predecessors. And I challenge anyone to come out and tell us that, yes, the previous administration failed to do nothing about the matter. It is the previous administration that followed the tracks of these guys, left a note, and obviously for them to follow up. So it is wrong for anybody to suggest that the previous administration failed to act on the matter. Yes, some work was done, but government continues. And it is the responsibility of the administration to act. But I'm telling you that the way they acted is wrong. Because if indeed you are satisfied that, yes, the guy is operating a Ponzi scheme, from day one that you asked them to stop, that very day I expect you to move in and recover the assets.
Okay.
Failure to do it makes you complicit.
Okay.
That is the point.
I'm grateful that you joined us. That's Kasil Atofosin there. He's the former deputy finance minister. He's a ranking member on the finance committee in Parliament. There are tons of your messages coming through on this. I want to share quickly with you, and I'll go to business. George, join us. Let's read through a few because there's a lot of them. This one from Makwisi says, Medina says, Evans, please tell the government if he dares, and government is an individual, he assumes, he dares pay these guys. We, the Betting Boys Association of Ghana, BBAG, will tell the government to get us all our losing bet. Yes.
That's Christine Medina. And this one also says, Evans and MF, I'm wondering what Men's Gold customers are doing in your offices. Or have they forgotten what they said after Israel Aye went to London to do a story on Men's Gold's UK office? That's Yao, Greater Estate. And this one from Goswell Morte, a very long one. It says, Bank of Ghana issues warning alert against those dealing with Men's Gold. That warning made it clear that since Men's Gold has not been granted licenses, it was operating illegally. And then this one also says, Evans, I'm Frank Intema. Please, the man in your studio is not telling the truth. If he can tell you that he didn't hear the announcement on radio and TV. And this one also from Paul says, please tell the customers in your office that I don't pity them a bit. I don't feel sorry for my brother-in-law who has 48,000 Ghana cedis with Men's Gold, so they should lick their wounds. They fail to use, okay. And this one also from Eben in Bachona. It says, I'm listening keenly to the Men's Gold customers. The government should help them retrieve their money, but the government should not try to use my taxpayers' money to offset the group of greedy people. That's from Eben. And this one from Nana Spinters Road says, I'm so annoyed with those in your studio, disappointed the government is helping them. Kwabna in Ebri says, Men's Gold depositors are not babies to play with knife. They are mature men and women to know that all that glitters cannot be gold. And this one also says, I am getting angry with these customers. It's greed that has landed them in this. How can you give money for something you haven't received and keep rolling over? And this one also from Virus says, Men's Gold customers should give us a break. They are all greedy, and I will sue government if he spends taxpayers' money on these.
Final question. Respond to the messages that you just heard.
Yeah, I'm disappointed in some of them. Look, that is a Ghanaian mindset or black man mindset kind of stuff. He wants to see his brother or his sister suffering. That is them. Look, how can you just tell me that I'm greedy because I invested my money somewhere? Why? So he wants me to, lose everything and be coming to him for money or what? No.
What he's saying,
I have to progress in life.
What he's saying to you is,
yes,
you were warned. You had the warning. There's no way you can say you live in Ghana in the first 5 months and say to me, which you said to our audience, and some of them said they are getting angry at what you said, that you didn't hear the warnings on radio everywhere in newspapers. You never heard.
That time, let me tell you where I was working. I was far in Zema, doing construction.
For 5 months, you never heard?
Trust me. I was in
never came
village.
to Accra?
I was in that
You never
village.
left the village?
They are sitting down in their
in
offices and enjoying air conditioning, thinking that everything that they put outside there, people will hear.
So you were in the village, but you heard of Men's Gold?
Yes.
How did you hear of Men's Gold in the village where you say you were locked up in the village?
My church.
Your church?
Yes.
Your church, your pastor told you?
That is it.
That is it. And you invested your money?
Yes.
And you were making money. So how were you collecting the 10,000?
Most of the times was from my wife will go there then
and take the money for you. Your wife didn't hear also? Never told you that this was happening in the news?
She doesn't even like.
You also say you never heard?
How far-reaching was that?
You never heard the warning.
Was the warning.
I'm asking you. You've also put 40,000. You never heard a warning.
Well, I don't know how far-reaching.
I want you to give me a quick reaction to the messages. People are very upset with you.
Well, if investing can be called investing in a company, then you can be referred to as greedy. Then I don't know.
Investing in a company about which you've been told by a central bank, by a Securities and Exchange Commission, and you particularly, you put your money there 2 months ago or something.
I put less than a week. Less than a week before.
When?
I think on the 11th of September.
So that is when, in the heat of this back and forth with SEC, and you still went ahead and put money there. Why should we have sympathy for you?
Yeah, the reason you should have sympathy for me is that I invested because I don't believe states.
Did you hear the news in September?
Yeah,
it was all over the airwaves.
Yeah, my point is that state institutions, especially their leaders, are paid to work because they have the requisite know-how.
We understand that, but you are a man.
Yeah.
Somebody said a grown-up man.
Yeah.
Some may say with pubic hair in your grey hair in your pubic area, and you still went and invested.
The state should have ensured as soon as it realized this was a Ponzi scheme, it should have been.
No, but you as my question to you and the listener asked, why didn't you as a grown-up man take the responsibility for yourself?
Why do I vote for a government?
No. I'm asking you your question. You as a grown-up man, why didn't you take the responsibility in September? in the midst of the controversy, you still went and invested.
Yeah, because I thought I have to invest my money.
Yes.
And it was
so the listeners who are angry with you said, then accept the responsibility.
Accept the responsibility when I have a state that should protect me.
Okay. I'm grateful, gentle, but at least you're happy that this
well,
action has been
there's a
taken.
welcoming news.
Okay.
Better late than never.
Okay.
Because by now, I don't know how much can be salvaged.
I'm grateful. I'm grateful that you joined us. George, what's the news?
Events coming up in business. Investment analyst Mahama Idrisu describes latest action on Men's Gold and directors as coming too late, and government slightly misses out on end-of-year inflation target for 2018. We'll explore the implications on the economy. The business news on Newsnight is brought to you by MTN Business. Welcome to the new world of business. Kingdom Books and Stationery, your number one-stop shop for all your office essentials. And First National Bank, we are the bank that understands your business. First National Bank, how can we help you?
Hello and welcome to the MTN Weather Report. Joe, we know say January dear if you are a better month, but with MTN, sea never dry. Now the details of my weather report. 15,000 cities go blow from the intertropical boundaries across the country. Rhyming in it. We can also see a mist of fog patches of 25,000 cities and a heavy monetary downpour of 30,000 cities are a move to treat the dry season across the country. Now, ladies and gentlemen, everywhere you go, whether it be school fees or akasisem fees, we there for you. Rent advance, salary advance, your sortie advance, because with MTN, we there for you. And to Joe, keep talking, browsing, texting, and transact more with Momo and win instant prizes each month. Now, Kushin will new year in the MTN More For You promo. And to dial *120#. Now check your points. We there for you everywhere you go.
Do the dance. Do the dance.
We give you nothing but the best, we stay above the rest. More quality, more affordability. Kingdom Books and Stationery. Everybody's going to the one and only shop where customer satisfaction is a guarantee. Kingdom Books and Stationery.
Oh yes, with our 30 days credit facility with no interest charge, free delivery services, and our free consultation on setting up your office, Kingdom Books and Stationery is unmatched in our delivery of quality and affordable office essentials, equipment, and furniture.
Experience world-class customer service in all our branches in Accra, Tema, Kumasi, Cape Coast, and Takoradi.
Call us on 0302-764-101
or visit our website at www.kingdomgh.com.
Kingdom Books and Stationery, your number one-stop shop for all office essentials and stationery. Terms and conditions apply.
Let us help you bank with the right bank. At First National Bank, we're more than just a bank. We're a digital partner that actually understands your business. Enjoy massive value with our various banking solutions. Get a business check account, a day-to-day transactional account for all businesses from all sectors of the economy. Access our online banking enterprise and bank your way 24/7. Invest with our short or long-term options that enable immediate access to funds. Optimize your cash flow, raise capital, and acquire assets with ease with our lending solutions. Trade with speed, consistency, and innovation with our global payments and forex solutions. With so much value up for grabs, there is no reason not to bank with First National Bank. First National Bank. How can we help you?
You're welcome back to Business on Newsnight. Now, investment analyst Mahama Idrisu has described the latest action on Men's Gold and its directors as coming too late. His comments follows news that the Criminal Investigative Department of the Police has begun formal investigations into its operations. This has resulted in a warrant being issued for directors and chief executive of the company, as well as freezing his accounts. Mahama Idrisu tells Joy Business Affairs this might amount to nothing.
Clients are making noise. Investors are sick because they can't get their interest, they can't get their money. And this noise intensified in the middle of 2018. And this is the time we are issuing a bench warrant to arrest the thief. Does it take to transfer whole country assets into somebody? They are even doing demonstrations. They are even demonstrating in Kumasi and other places. And when everybody is getting fed up with the information about an issue, that is when we start issuing bench warrants. There are a lot of companies, finance houses that have run into this problem. And we are still waiting for Bank of Ghana to go down to savings and loans and go back down to, microfinance company, for SEC to go down to assets and fund management companies, it will be too late.
Do you think that this action is coming too late?
It's not even late. We just fancy to borrow that word.
Mahama Idrisu is an investment analyst. It appears government may have missed out on its end-of-year December inflation rate target for 2018. Now, government in the 2019 budget revised its end-of-year inflation target, that is to 8.9%. So, based on these new numbers put out by the Ghana Statistical Service, it appears it might have missed out. So, should we be worried about this development, even though we're still within the single-digit range? Professor Godfrey Bobkin is an economist.
What it is that, but if you look at the variance, it's not that high. It's not that we are within even the rationalized macroeconomic convergence will be less than 10%. So we are within that. But what this also means is that what we set out to achieve, we could not achieve that. And I think the reasons have been given in terms of the drivers of the price development.
That is Professor Godfrey Bobkin. He is an economist. The Minister for Aviation, that is Kofi Adda, is assuring that the country's new home-based carrier could take over from the second quarter of this year after they finalized agreements with the various investors. He spoke to Joy Business at the first strategic aviation sector meeting held in PDRC Law today.
The expectation of Ghanaians generally is that they want to see the airline operational. So that's one of the obvious things that I have to say to the whole nation, that we've gone quite far, entered into an understanding with the Ethiopian Airlines. We've also been engaging some investors who also want to participate in the effort. We've gone quite far with that. We're hoping that this month we'll be able to review what we've started. We'll try to conclude that in February or negotiate any other item that we have to negotiate. By end of March, we hope to be able to conclude on everything, and going to the early part of second quarter, God willing, we shall begin to fly as a home-based carrier.
Minister for Aviation Kofi Adda. And that's all for Business on Newsnight.
George, thank you very much. And Hans is here with the very latest from the world of sport. Hello, Hans.
Hello, Evans. Now, the 16th Premier League and Division 1 league clubs have been told to embrace the special competition by the Normalization Committee, which is set to begin this month. After yesterday's meeting between the clubs and the committee, varied reasons were expressed, with some not keen on participating in the competition. Now, for some, the financial package is not lucrative considering the number of games they would have to play. But Randy Abe, who is a former executive committee member of the FA, also doubled as chairman of Division 1 side Hearts of Lions, believes the competition will fill the void created in the last 8 months.
The approval of the clubs with respect to this proposal and the kind of contributions made, I mean, it's pretty obvious that we just can't wait to start filling that void.
In terms of the modalities and the financial package for the clubs, were you okay with it?
Well, I think that it's, if you look at where we've come from, I mean, I was pleasantly surprised. I mean, although we also made some suggestions with respect to areas where we believe that we can have some improvements, and thankfully the committee has also indicated that they're going to look at them and get back to us with respect to those reviews. But I think that largely, I mean, it's very good, very positive.
Former executive committee member of the Ghana Football Association, Randy Abe, and then sports on Newsnight.
Thank you very much, Hans. And very quickly, just before we go, latest research from the University of Ghana Political Science Department indicates that if elections were held today, NDC will push the MPP into a second round. These are findings from some researchers at the University of Ghana, and it was outdoor today at a news conference. Listen.
Now to the candidates, presidential candidates. Assuming Nana Addo and John Mahama and Kwesi Indum. The question was asked, if elections were held today, which candidate would you vote for? But these are the three key. So for Nana Addo, 49.6% of respondents said they would vote for him, 33.3% for John Mahama, and 7.3% for Kwesi Indum. These responses indicate simply and unsurprisingly that the two major parties are still the most preferred among voters. And secondly, that there might be another contest between President Akufo-Addo and former President Mahama come the 2020 presidential election.
These are fascinating research results there. More on that in a subsequent bulletins, plus the unfolding story on the Nana Appiah Mensah Men's Gold owner saga as we follow this with Interpol tonight, working across 100, almost 200 countries looking for him. We'll be keeping a close eye on that. You want to join me on PM Express tonight? We have an explosive conversation on this. You've heard the breaking news here on radio. You want to watch it on TV tonight at 9 p.m. We're going to have Amanda Clinton joining us. We're going to have some of the customs. We're going to have international Interpol officers speaking to us on the effort to arrest Nana Mensah. You don't want to miss that for anything. 9 p.m. sharp, PM Express on the Joy News channel. My name is Evans Mensah. I did this with MFR Power and the rest of my colleagues who have been following this story for us. Enjoy the rest of your evening.